Okay, hi everyone. Jackie and I decided that we're going to make a quick video for YouTube to show kind of what we did on our balcony. First, as you can see, we live on the 5th floor in downtown Sacramento. I'll give you a quick view of the skyline here. Well, you can. Not the biggest city in the world, but we like it, I guess. I don't know what the hell that building is called across the way, but it's pretty nice. So anyway, we moved into this place in September of last year, and everything was very nice, but we figured we'd make a few tweaks, and Jackie had some great ideas. This is all really her brainchild. And one of the first things she decided is that we would make a pond. You can probably hear it flowing in the back right now. So I'll show you that first, and this is what it looks like. I know it's a little hard to see. We wanted to do it at night so you could see all the lights. What we have here essentially is we made a box out of wood. We just got pieces of wood that we got from Home Depot. We had them cut, stained, and we put them together. I'll see if I can get a little bit closer so you can see the wood. And Jackie pretty much did this by herself. This is all from scratch. It took us a couple of hours, but it wasn't so bad. And then what we did is we took the base of this, I should say, is actually a Rubbermaid plastic container. I know it's probably pretty hard to tell, which is the point, as you can guess. And then we took a vase that we bought at also at Home Depot, and as you know, most vases have holes in the bottom, so we put a pump in the cinder block down there that you can see, which we also tiled. We ran the tube up through the vase, and it overflows, just like this. And then we put some water in there, or some rocks, and it just overflows our vase like this. We used silicone to put the glass ceramic tiles against the plastic Rubbermaid container. We originally tried to use Gorilla Glue and then grout. And lo and behold, for those of you who don't know, pre-mixed grout, not waterproof, not even water resistant. It was more of a nightmare than I could even explain to you. We had gray water. We tried to rinse it like 4 or 5 times. And we always assumed that being, swimming pools were made out of concrete, that we could put water on them. Joke is on us, because apparently you cannot. Okay, so in the back, we have some artificial bamboo trees that we got at Michael's. They were a little bit expensive, but they look nice, and we were going to buy some real local bamboo, but we decided it's probably better to do artificial, because I hear they get unwieldy and grow all over the place, so we just went with the artificial ones, but we think they look really nice. We actually just put these in today. Here we bought some artificial orchids that we put into a matching pot, just smaller, that you can see. They match the overflowing pot. Put a little trellis in it and ran these up there. We also bought those at Michael's with the exception of the pot, which is from Home Depot. Okay, so now I'm going to turn. And this is our railing. As you can see, we ran some rope lights up under them. We just tied them with cable ties. And they seem to work pretty good. They give off a little bit of light, but not too much, so we can keep kind of this cool ambiance, if you will. And then I'm going to turn and show our chairs here. These are our Adirondack chairs. Let me get in so you can see it a little bit closer. They look like this, and these actually came from Home Depot in a box of undone wood. And it was more or less put together. We just needed to finish the screws and whatnot. And then we stained it with the same color of stain we did the pond, so everything matches. And with that, we also bought this little table here, again, stained in the same color. And then here is the other chair. You can see. It looks like this. The stain was called, oh, there's my lovely hobbit foot. And this stain is called Cordovon Brown, I believe. Quickly right here, this is our hanging town light looking thing, which is actually a wireless speaker. And this comes from a transmitter in the house, which we run to either our iPod or to the computer. Sound isn't great, but it works for our purposes. Here, this thing is awesome, and this was all Jackie's find. This is a little fireplace that we bought on Overstock for about $200, and it has 3 little compartments in the middle which fill with these new gel canisters. Each canister lasts for about 5 hours, and I don't know how good the audio is, but you might be able to hear the crackling. It simulates a true crackle. It's great for us because we can just cover them up and put them out. Nothing has to be ran, propane, obviously, anything like that, and they seem to work pretty well. They put off a little bit of heat, not a ton, but having it up here is probably better that it doesn't. I'll try and get kind of an angular view there so you can see it. Okay, and so the next, when we moved in, there was this little TV in the bedroom. Now, luckily, Jaggie's dear parents bought us a bigger TV that we have in our bedroom, so we didn't really have a place for this guy. So what we did is we went ahead and fastened it using cable ties, and I swear to you, this thing is cable tied to the ends of the earth. I don't think there's any way in hell it's falling. But it's on there pretty good, and it has a built-in DVD player, or we just figured we would put it out here and we can run cable from inside, and we have a little wire, and we figured we can just put, you know, whatever sports game or anything is on if we're barbecuing, maybe even play, you know, run the laptop to it, play some games on the balcony. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so then I'm going to focus up real quick, and these are our hanging paper lanterns. We bought these at World Market. They were fairly cheap, I think $10, $15 for 6, and they're pretty good. The one on the far end there, which you can see, I'll go over there and you can see it's not lit up, is a piece of shit. The rest of them work wonderful though. We have one more here, as you can see. Here we ordered these little wind chimes that we thought would go with our motif. They're pretty small, but we only paid like $8 a piece, I think, something like that, wasn't it? And the winds got to really kick up, which last week in Sacramento, today is what, the 27th of March, 2011. Last week, if any of you remember, heard, it was like a monsoon here. Cars were flying down the street, cows, tornadoes, mass hysteria, really. So I'm coming further down here now. And when we moved in, now these pots were here. We did not buy these pots. So these, I assume they were fairly expensive. They were pretty nice. And here, I guess I should add, is one more table. We bought another Adirondack table and stained it. We were going to have 2 tables over there, but there wasn't enough space. So there's my gardening water container spigot, whatever the hell you want to call it. And here we bought some camellias. These are called Japanese camellias, I believe. I'm all new to gardening, but I saw these and they're awesome, and I've kind of taken them under as my babies. I think they're super cool. Before there were some ugly ferns here. No offense if our landlords ever watched this video, but they were terrible. I mean, you guys seem to have some style. What are you doing, man? I wanted a bonsai tree, but for any of you guys that know, bonsai trees are an absolute nightmare to work with. So this is called a Japanese juniper bush. Maroon juniper, excuse me. Anyway, it looks to me just like a bonsai tree. It seems to be lasting pretty good. Now, mind you, I've only had these guys for like 2-3 weeks now. So, you know, I'll update if they brutally die in the next week, which is possible. Here we have a rubber, we always call these rubber trees, what do you know them as?
Jade.
Jade, which is probably the normal term, but as you can see, I'm like an infant, so we call them by little things. Anyway, this was here actually when we moved in, and these are very nice. We like these a lot, and we had no qualms. Now, I think I can't pause this video, unfortunately. I don't know how the hell to do it. So what we have here is you can see that this wall segregates, and so this is the main area of our condo. And then over here is where the master bedroom is. So I'm just going to move this table and kind of stick my head over there so you can see it. Over there we just have 2 more hanging Japanese paper lanterns. I have 1 more wind chimes, which is awesome. And then we had a couple of chairs. These were ours. And I laid these out like this so they would fit better. You can see that guy over there. Jackie not sure if she likes it. I do. Vito. This lovely tree right here that Jackie's not allowed to look at because she makes fun of it is called a Japanese weeping maple, and it's awesome. When we got it, it hadn't had any sprouts. It wasn't sprouting any blossoms or whatever the hell the term is for it. And now it is. I assume it's due to my expert gardening, and it's beautiful, and I can't wait for it. This is all we have for right now. We love it. We thought about, you know, here again is the view, if you guys want to see it. Over there is the American River down that way. And unfortunately, we're not quite tall enough, but right where that blue guy is shining is the Capitol building. We thought about putting down some tile, because right now, as you can see, it's just cement. But then we figured with the fireplace and whatnot, it looks better. So we're just going to keep it like this. If anyone has any questions, I'll leave my email, and we'll be happy to let you know how much we paid for things, or if I didn't explain how we did anything here. It was all really basic. We did all of this, I would say, not counting our grout dilemma and just monstrosity, which again I cannot stress enough to you people. Grout plus water equals just sure disaster. We did the whole thing for probably, what would you say?
About $1,200.
About $1,200. And you know, we have a little fountain. It did have some fish in it. Probably don't want to get too much into it. But along with that whole, you heard about the monsoon last weekend, the apparently goldfish are not popsicle fish. And, you know, rest in peace, if you will. But once again, so here's our pond. Give you a little look down into it. There's some lilies in there that we bought. Those are fake, but they're connected to real things. Jenny says they put that on there to find them. I don't know how the hell you're going to lose them.
We'll have more than 50 gallons.
Even if, I assume it doesn't really make two shits of a difference where they are until they spring up, or if they die, you know, they just never surface. Anyway, whatever. Those are fake, and they're so you can find them, but, you know, they're right below the water level there. The real ones are supposed to be springing at any point. I don't know, it's probably a racket, but it seemed nice at the time. So then I will give you one more panoramic view. There's Sacramento, and then here is down on our balcony. Sorry for the long-winded video. Hope you guys like it.